Welcome, and thank you very much for joining us for the webinar of ModernTV today. So as said, today we have the webinar of ModernTV, an IPTV OTT and end-to-end solution company which is based in the Czech Republic. And I'm here, Tobias, from the Extreme Distribution team. I'm working in business development and sales. And I'm very happy to introduce also David Zack, who is responsible for international business development at ModernTV, and who will go through with us about the news and the introduction of ModernTV today. Hey, David.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Tobias. I'm not going to hold too much of your time. I think it's going to be about 25 minutes of me speaking. And yeah, I think we are about to start. So thank you for sharing the screen, Tobias. I will just go to the presentation and we can start. So as I said, it's going to be about 25 minutes. We have about 5 points to address. One is ModernTV and SledovaniTV and the relationships in between. Then the second point will be our new DRM solution. And then we go to ModernTV even more complete, which will give you the idea for those who don't know us at all. It will give you the idea of what the end-to-end actually means at ModernTV. Then I will show you some new features and upgrades of our applications that we currently support. And then I will reveal some new modules and parts of the solution that we are currently working on. So to start with, we will go to the ModernTV and SledovaniTV. Because ModernTV is basically a developer part of SledovaniTV, who is an operator and IPTV and OTT service provider in Czech Republic and Slovakia. And because originally we developed the solution for ourselves and for our needs, and since it's already gotten very good, we offer it to the clients across the world, currently in about 10 countries, I believe. So the new features of the applications I will be showing on the applications of the SledovaniTV, which is always the first one to be upgraded, because we release the features first to our network. And if there are any bugs or anything that might be going wrong, we remove it, and only then it goes to the client's hands if they request so. So this is the relationship between ModernTV and SledovaniTV. It's obviously an advantage if a developer is also an operator of IPTV, because of the obvious know-how and knowledge of the market itself, and what people react to, and how the new upgrades or updates are received. So it's basically we are testing everything on ourselves before it goes to the client. So this is just a short story about ModernTV and SledovaniTV, and we can jump straight into the mDRM, which is our new DRM solution that was released and firstly deployed last year in the fall. Of course, we were still tuning it a little bit, and now it's perfectly available for our clients. So that being said, it makes our end-to-end solution even more complete, because as you can see in the middle, we used the secondary option before, which means using a partner DRM such as CryptoGuard, for example. And now there is an option to use also our DRM, which is even better for a client, because that makes us a one-stop shop for all the components of the IPTV and OTT needs. So for those who are seeing this for the first time, basically all we need is are the IP streams, and then we transcode them, package them, and distribute to the applications. And of course, there is a subscriber management system and content management and statistics that go along with it. So basically, for everything else, there is an API to connect maybe existing a subscriber management system or billing system or EPG or anything else that you might already have in place. So this is even more complete now with the DRM. One thing I would like to mention about the DRM is that it's also on the fly package. Its component is on the fly packager, because that is a big saving on the storage side. And this has been very well received among our clients because it saves a lot of investment originally. So this is our solution as a whole, and we can then individually talk about your needs. What maybe you don't need all the components, then we can twist it and turn it according to your needs, whatever project you have planned. So the next step, we can go directly to the applications. And because there are quite a few, as you can see, we support a wide array of devices, starting with Samsung, LG, Panasonic, Hisense, and all Android TVs and Apple TVs, which is a lot to take care of. Then I have more good news in that department. Then, of course, the web browsers and the mobile devices, and also Chromecast. And as our Apple developer or iOS developer had some spare time, he even made an application for Apple Watch, which I think is really cool, and some of my friends are already using it, and it's quite fun. So let's go straight to the applications that we are working on right now, and some of the features have already been released, so you can check them out yourself later on, because if you let us know, we can provide you with a test account, and you can see it for yourself. So what's new? First, because our main application that we always look up to is Android TV application. We are trying to make all the other applications to look as close to Android TV look and feel as possible. And as you can see right now, this is our new channel list, which is dynamically moving left and right with all the available content that the channel offers at that time. And you can, before we had only panels where you could see what progress had the program made, but now there is even more information, more visual, and there is a title and some additional information that you can see right away at the panel. It is possible to switch between those two, but this one has proved quite popular. So we are very proud to introduce this new channel list. And as far as other upgrades are concerned, we released the new EPG, which again contains much more information about the event in the EPG. You can play directly from the EPG, of course, and we made it even much faster than it was before. And it's really good fun to look for content this way, because you don't have to go and press another button to go into detail and then back again as it was before. So this saves that one click, and that's another of our philosophies, that the less clicks to get to the right content, the better. So this was the main drive why we created this kind of EPG, and even more information will be coming there soon as well, like such as rating and popularity from different databases and stuff like that. This is basically upon request. Whatever you want to show there, we can make it happen. So now we are using this look. In the next, because when you went to the detail before, you could see only much less of the content. You would see only that one event there. Nowadays, as you can see on the right side, you can see also the episodes that are available either in time shift or in the future on that channel, so you never miss the episode. Of course, there is the button that you can just click on, and it will record all the available episodes, so you will have everything recorded and you will not miss it for sure. And as you can see on the left there, that's the detail of one event, where you can see the rating and the year which it is from, the length, and of course the description. And you can always go for more information, and that also depends on you, if you whatever you want to show it to your users, because every region has different preferences, of course, and some of them are really needed, such as ratings in some countries. In some countries, they just are happy with the simple description. So that's also up to you, and it depends what kind of database it is connected to, where you can mine this information. So this is our new detail page. Now I will show you a little video of what it actually looks like in action. So this is the home screen, and the top movies that you can ingest. This is the cross channel list, as we call it. A seek bar with thumbnails, of course, which is very handy. And a continuous seek bar, which is another new features that I will be talking on later on as well. And of course, the EPG on the same page. Can go to the TV guide. As you can see, as always, the pictures and the information about each event. And of course, it depends on the set-top box or on the hardware that you have available. So that's how fast it is. Now we skip to the Apple TV. As mentioned before, we are trying to make everything look the same. All the applications look the same, so the people know that they are in the same service. And this is the new homepage for Apple TV. We already released it for Android TV. Now it's also on Apple TV. So the first main feature there is on the top, where you use the continue watching possibility. And this is very useful if, for example, you are watching something, then you have to leave, you come back, and you are right there where you finished before. So it's a very useful feature, and I will be mentioning this feature again later on. So this is Apple TV. Another new thing about Apple TV is the seek bar thumbnails, which we didn't have there before, and those are of course very useful, so you always know where you are in the movie if you want to go a little bit forward or backwards. And since it might be hard to go forward, let's say only 10 seconds or 20 seconds, just so you don't have to look for the exact space. Then we added the 10-second skip, which proved to be quite popular as well, and it makes the life of Apple TV users much easier. I tried it myself, and it's really an improvement, because it saves lots of trouble of looking for something and then going too far or too early. So very useful indeed. Next up is the iOS mobile, the famous apples. Again, as you can see, this is the new homepage. Again, we are trying to make it the same as all the other applications. So the home screen looks pretty much the same. It's on the top, the continue watching possibility. So again, somebody calls you, you don't, and you can continue watching later on after you finish the phone call, for example. And underneath the top movies, again, as on Android TV or Apple TV. So again, the unification of the application has progressed quite significantly in this department. For the channel list, this is pretty much the same as it was before for Android TV and all the other devices that we support. And you could see only the panels of the channels, and then you just click on it, and that doesn't really tell you much. I mean, it's good to have, but doesn't tell you much. Then of course we move to the new channel list, where you can see the list of the channels, and it tells you directly what is currently on, and some information to it as well, which makes again life much easier, and you get to your favorite content much faster than it was before. So again, quite a progress there. And again, another new feature, the detail. As you can see on the left, there's just the text and record buttons or play buttons, and it doesn't even look that attractive as it might. So we worked on that as well, and as you can see on the right side, it looks now much better with all the recording possibilities or play live, of course, as well, but much more detail about the event that you have selected, also with the star ratings, or the genre or the length of the movie and so on. So again, it looks much better visually, and much more enticing to the users. So really cool. Again, we are talking about iOS, and this is something fun that we did because it was possible, and this is for VR goggles. So you can easily click those three famous dots on the right top screen, right top corner, and select the cardboard VR function, and use it for the cardboard virtual reality goggles. And I tried it. I tried it myself again. It's it's really interesting to watch some content this way, and quite fun as well. And sometimes we had phone calls to our support that people were watching movies in the mode which they selected not intentionally, and we always tell them the same thing: it's a feature and not a bug, because it is a VR mode. So it's quite a funny conversation sometimes. I will go back now, and I will show you a short video of the Apple. So again, you can see our SledovaniTV logo, our operation here in Europe, and I hope to get also some feedback from you and tell me what you think about these new features, because I think personally that is really cool. This is what I look like when I watch it through the cardboard box. And here we go to the one of the fun applications that we now have. Our developer for iOS, who is actually Italian, he had some spare time, and in this spare time he was exploring the opportunity to have our application work on the Apple Watch, and he came up with we came up with the solution that you can see the screenshots right now on the presentation. Again, you have the channel list there. You have you have the EPG. You can listen to the radio or watch the TV. Up to you. It's I mean, I was traveling to work one day and I saw a guy actually using this application, which was really fun to watch, because originally it was just something for fun that was supposed to be tried, but it seems that nowadays people buy more and more these smart watches. So and Apple Watch is the leader, of course. So it's really cool to have this application on the watch as well. These are the radios that you can play. Again, really nice to have there. Now, let's go to the smart TVs. I keep repeating myself, but again, we are making them all the same to not to lose track of what applications you are on. So again, we have the continue watching possibility here, and favorite channels listings, and pretty much the same as it's on Android TV, and of course it's LG, so it depends what the operating system allows us to do. But I think we gotten pretty close to what Android TV looks like. And this is to compare the old and new application. If you can see on the left, the old application was basically the same as our old set-top box application. So it looks all kind of like panels everywhere, like old style. And that's why we are so excited to have now the new application for LG. As you can see, it looks exactly the same as on Android TV. So the experience and the feel of the application is the same more and more across all the platforms. So this is something that we are very excited about, because sometimes it takes quite a while to have the application approved, and this has been approved about 5 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So very excited about that. Here, the EPG part, again, on the right side with all the details, and much nicer look and feel of the application, as opposed to the applications that was available on LG before. So again, big leap forward in LG application. Here we have our new web, which we tuned a little bit, especially the sidebar where you have the list of the channels, and much better search possibilities. We played a lot with the metadata, and now the search for the certain events or the channel or anything else is much faster and much more effective than it was before. So very excited about it. Although I'm not excited about the photo of the lady, but anyway, let's go to the next, the EPG on the web browser. Again, we tuned it a little bit so it looks more the same as on the first screens. So again, here EPG, and it's much more complex and better, even the picture-in-picture possibility while you are actually searching for something. So this was something that was actually asked from us by some of the users who said that this would be a really good step forward, and that's why we decided to implement it. Again, on the web, that's the main screen. As you can notice, the continue watching is not there right now, but it will be. So it's again step forward to make it conforming in across all the platforms and to display more available content, and again while you are watching picture-in-picture. So again, quite cool. Here is the detail with all the available episodes, which tells you when the upcoming episodes will be screened. I mean, will be on this channel, and much better detail of the actual episode, more information about it, and more information about the upcoming episodes as well. So this is something that's really nice to have as well. If I go forward, we have the movies and the TV shows section, again with the detail, again with all the content displaying right under that might be interesting to the users, and it's much better looking than it was before. You can compare it if you get our test account. This is the recordings, which are also now much better looking than it was before, with all the available space that you have still for recording, and all the events that you had recorded previously, and the ones that you can keep, you can prolong the validity, and this basically just depends on the channel rights or the content rights that the certain operator has. So some of the events can be available for 6 months, even longer. So that's up to the possibilities. So now we jump to the planned multi-screen features. As I mentioned several times, we had the continue watching feature. I will be talking about it in the next slide as well. But what we are working on, and we want the features to have to be across the platforms. So it's the channel arrangement. So previously it was only available to arrange your channels or the channel order in on the web, and then it would stay the same on any other device. But now the channel arrangement will be available across all the platforms. So because we realized that since everybody has really good smartphones or other devices, not everybody is using laptop anymore. So it will be cool to have even on the second screens or the first screens. So that's something that you can do now on the way to work, for example. Watched event mark, whatever you watched already, I mean, it will disappear from the list if you don't want it there anymore. And this is also something like if you have a long list of episodes of the TV series, you will know right away which one you already seen or which one you haven't. So that's something that we are working on as well. Next, the content recommendation. That's something that we have been working on since last year, and I think Q3 or Q4 it should be coming out this year. And this content recommendation, like we talked about it from the left and right, it's basically you first need to watch some content, for a certain time, for the engine to recommend you what or to know what your favorite shows are or what genre is your favorite. So based on that, then it will be recommending you the content that you might like as well. Because just to recommend someone just because somebody is 40 and a man is doesn't have to be so precise. Last thing is the multi-profile. Multi-profile will be very useful for the families, for example, because let's say to the children there will be a different content available than to the adults, and you will be able to see who was watching what and what content they record, for example. So you will see only your recordings and not somebody else's recording in the house. So again, good, very useful feature. This is the continue watching. As I said before, that it will be always part of the home screen or any device. So if you stop watching, it will be basically serving as a bookmark as well. So if you stop watching something on your first screen, for example, then you will be able to automatically continue watching on any other screen later on. Let's say you watch something on the TV, and then you have to head to work, and you know that you will spend half an hour on the bus. You will just you will not have to look for the same content again on your mobile phone, for example. But you just simply open the application, and right on the home screen there will be the continue watching feature, and you just carry on with the entertainment that you had chosen. So this is something that we have wanted to incorporate into our applications for quite some time, but now it's finally the time has come for it to be done and released. So very excited about that. Then we have some other news that we are working on very hard, and you can see the sparkles coming out of it when we are working hard. First is a DVB and OTT set-top box, which is great for the cable companies to transition, for example, or for the people that still don't have a smart TV. So this is something that could be very useful, and it can work as the DVB can work as a fallback to OTT, for example. The next that we are developing right now and should be also released in Q3 is ad insertion, which will be based on a dynamic ad insertion standard. And this is a really good feature that has been requested quite often recently from us, and that's why we are working on it right now, because we realize that this extra income or extra revenue could be very crucial to some operators, and it's a good possibility to have and work with your users and see what they like, and direct the ads directly to them. So this is something that we like to add to our end-to-end solution. So after we release the ad insertion, our end-to-end solution will be even more complete, even in the modern times, so to speak. Next, it will be the advanced search. As I said before, we are playing with the metadata quite a lot, and figure out the way how to best enable the users to search and find what they are looking for. So the workings of this feature I can tell you a little bit later, in a couple of months, once we get to the certain milestone that we set. Next is the channel positioning settings on Android TV. So again, this is the channel arrangement basically. that on Android TV it was actually released 2 weeks ago. It's in beta version right now, but as we have the feedback from our customers and the users, it is a really good thing to have on the first screen, because they don't have to go to web and arrange the channels there. The last thing that we are working on now, we already have statistics to a certain extent, but now it will have a really nice look with all the graphs, and lots of different data will be available. I can get the current status and the possibilities of the statistics to you if you would like to know more about it. But it will be a big upgrade compared to what we have now. Right now, of course, we can see what channels are watched by who, or what channel is the most popular, or how much time was spent on certain things, or basically the information like that was available until now was sufficient, but we figured that there are many more statistics that we could deliver, and that's why we are working on it right now. So this is what we are working on, and hopefully coming soon will be very soon, and as soon as it happens, I will let you know. Now, if you would like to see some of the applications in the working, you can go directly to me or to Tobias, and I will be more than happy to create a user account for you, so you can test it on your devices, and see throughout the time, when we release the new features into the main distribution. So this is, as I said, hopefully I made it a little bit longer than 25 minutes, but hopefully you got some good information, and da-di-da-di-da. That's all, folks. So
Thank you
I
very much,
will.
David. Let's
It's my
see if
pleasure,
there's some
Toby.
questions as well. So we're very happy to answer questions. Yes, there is something coming. And the question is the DRM accepted by all the studios?
Yes, we are certified, well, accepted by all studios. That is a question as in like a Disney and all those studios, correct?
Yeah.
We are certified for white wine and fair play, and as we never come across anybody who would have Disney or some famous studios content available for their own usage. So we didn't dive into this area, but it's basically only about certification. So, but it would, if it would be needed, then we would get certified.
Also with Play Ready?
Yes.
Meaning
Well,
this is done, or this can be done?
No, this is done. This is done.
Okay.
Because the most popular are the Android and Apple. So basically, these are the ones that we mentioned the first.
Okay. And how can I find and access it on my television?
How can access it?
How can I find the ModernTV app then? And how can I access it on my television? Because I
I
imagine
see.
on the
I
smart
see.
TVs, you normally have this kind of app style looks. How does that show up?
Right, right. So if basically how it works is for the LG and Samsung, for example, the application that is released is somehow restricted for certain regions. I think LG is somewhat international, so because we had test accounts, for example, in Taiwan, and it was working there. So I'm not sure about a complete list of what they mean by semi-international, but usually the way it goes that if a client requests to have the application on smart TV, we have to brand the application and then submit it to the approval process to Samsung and LG, and thus get the approval for the operator's territory, so for the application to work there. So with the test account, it might be possible that the LG application would be available, and it would be tested. It would be tested on our SledovaniTV application.
And you mentioned Samsung and LG. What kind of smart televisions are supported?
With the new application, the new applications that have been approved right now, those are the models from 2016, and for LG it's from 2016, and with the web operating system 3.5 and higher. And for Samsung, we have already approved the application for the models from 2016 to 2019, and for the 2020 models, it's being in the approval process right now, because it's only June, so we only started working on it this year. But we expect that to be approved within about a month.
Okay. I see no more questions at the moment.
Any other questions that there are, again, you can anybody can contact either me or you, Tobias, and we will answer all the questions, because like when it's with me, usually if I watch some webinar or have some discussion, then half an hour later I have two more questions that I want to ask. So maybe we can let it settle in, and then anybody can come back to us individually, and I will be very happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Absolutely. So we like to engage very much on a kind of direct base. So please let us know your case, your use case, or even if you are also a channel partner, let us know your customer's use case. We're happy to give you an individual demo, or as David mentioned before, we can set you up with a demo account so you can test it yourself. So David, thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you very much for joining us today, also all the viewers, and hopefully
I was
we have
very
another
happy
webinar soon.
Thank you very much, Tobias. Thank you everybody that joined, and whoever didn't join, or if you know somebody who would like to hear me again speaking this webinar, it will be published on the YouTube again as last year.
Correct.
So thank you very much, and I will look forward to speaking to you all individually if you need to.